Hey folks, let's see here. Fresh, all right, there we go. Let's do this. All right, there we go. Got that. We got this going. And we need some tunes. We need some tunes. Y'all will hear the tunes, but I won't. But that's okay. Let's see what we got today. What do we got today? Yep, that's what we're gonna play. Let's do that. And then do that. All right. Now we got some tunes going. All right. We also, really quick, need to update our information here. Let's update our information. Let's see here. We are working on the Psycho. Oh, that's gonna be bouncy. Psycho Zaku. Alright, there we go. Reach 50 followers. We are 6 out of 50. Alright. Close that. Good evening, afternoon, whatever it may be. Sorry if I just gave you a nice shot of my arm there on that camera. It's Thursday, and you ever have those times when it feels like life just sucks it to you? That's been my life the last couple weeks. That's okay. Was traveling this week for work, back home, and really need to get some work done on this Psycho Zaku project for the Gallery World Creators Cup competition. So here I am, got my drink, got my Psycho Zaku, and my Psycho self here to get some work done. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get down to it, and I hope you've had a wonderful week. All right, let's see here. Where's my pencil, guys? I don't even know. I may not have a pencil. I may have done something with it. Boo. That's good. It's gonna be a bummer. I'm sure I've got one somewhere I can use. So what's going on in your world? Oh, there's my pencil. I found it. All right. I'm also working on my streaming setup here. I really don't know how it's all going to work out. I really have no idea. But I got a new camera holder up here and a new camera holder here for this down shot. We'll see if that's beneficial, if that works for us. And I don't know. We'll find out. But we're going to keep just moving forward, trying different things out, okay? All right, so here's where we're at. We've got Psycho Zaku. Snap build is done, right? You're seeing some of it there on the screen. We've got, of course, the fuel cells. The Zaku himself just chilling. And now we've got to decide how we're going to be customizing this doodad, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is we're going to work on the Zaku himself, okay? Because we'll deal with these. Well, you know what? We're probably going to have to work on some of this at the same time. But we're going to do Zaku and fuel cells and things separately, okay? So what I'm going to do here is unhook his backpack. He's got these little levers right there. You see that one? And you got to flip that lever down, and that gives us the ability. Where is it? Oh, there you go. You're not going to see it on camera. Flip that down. That gives us the ability to pull his backpack off. It's pretty clever engineering there from the folks at Bandai. So pretty good. But this thing is a beast. I mean, this thing is monstrous. So we're gonna just set this guy to the side over here. We will figure out how that's gonna get incorporated into the grand scheme of things. And so for now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna work on this dude. All right, this is the Psycho Zaku. He is pretty darn cool, but I feel like we need to make him even more cool. So at this point in the process, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around and identify some various things that I want to work on and fix up and do as we get into customizing this dude. Okay, so put this piece, skirt piece that broke off. Okay, so here he is. He's so big. I'm gonna have to do something different maybe about that camera angle, because man, he's so big he just barely fits. Okay, so first things first, I'm not a fan of all this extra stuff on the legs, so I want to get rid of it. And you know, some people would be like, oh, how dare you. That's okay, it's not their build. All right, so this guy, maybe that one will stay, we'll see. But let's see here. We're gonna pull that off. See, there's this extra detail under there that I really like. Okay, so we got this piece here. Get the one on the, there's one on the other side. Pull him off. There we go. That comes off. Same thing here. Pull this guy off. And the interior one. Now, as part of this competition, the fans have voted. Oops. And voted on doing a paint job where he looks like he's being painted like a Earth Federation suit, and I think that's fantastic. I think it's a great idea. It's a lot of fun. And so what we can do in our diorama is actually have these pieces off to the side so that they're not lost in the storyline, right? They're gonna sit off to the side. They're gonna be in the process of being painted, while all the madness is going on. And so we're going to set these to the side. We're not going to lose these, right? These are really pretty cool. I don't know that I'm going to do much work to them besides working on cleaning some things up. So when I talk about cleaning things up here, there's stuff like this rough edge right here that needs to be cleaned up. There's nub marks like this guy right here needs to be taken care of. So what I'm going to do with my pencil is I'm just going to mark that area that I want to make sure gets cleaned up. Probably these little greebly, these little boosters need a little bit of sanding love, which they will get. They will definitely get their time. Okay, we're gonna mark this piece here. All right, so then later on when I'm going through, these darker spots will remind me that, hey, yo, bro, you need to fix that. Okay, so that's pretty easy. This is straightforward. Just a little bit of madness here on that one. And I like using a pencil for this because it just gives me, it's easy to get off. Right, I used marker on a kit a while back and I had to sand extra to get it off. This I can literally wipe off with my hands for the most part. So that's why I use that. Okay, we're going to do the same on this piece. We're just looking around. I want to identify any spots that need some tender love and care. Okay, there we go. This spot right here. Come around. Look here, I don't want to lose that rocket booster that just fell off. So I'm going to be careful about that. This little guy. These things are so small. See how small that is? Teeny tiny. Alright. So what we're going to do, I'm going to grab it by the edge. What I did before. Plop it in there. Okay. There we go. Next. Okay, so we're going to highlight this area. Okay, so these pieces, again, what I'm going to do with these to make them, we're not going to lose them, right? I just don't want them on the Zaku. I feel like it hides too much of the fun detail. So what we're going to do is we're going to set them off to the side and use them as part of the storyline because he's in the process of being painted to look like an Earth Federation suit. And for this guy, that means he's gonna look like Atlas. So there's a Gundam called Atlas. I think it's Atlas. And knowing me, I'm probably using the wrong name, but he's an Earth suit from the Thunderbolt series, and he's got a really cool paint scheme. Pretty unique, and I think that that would be a great fit for what we're doing here. So the plan will be that he's going to get the paint job to look like Atlas, right? But he's not going to be completely done yet. He's going to be in the process of getting this paint job done when this accident, this industrial workplace accident occurs. So there's some other things we're going to do here. I mean, we got lots to go through here, but let's look at let's look at the shoulder first. Okay. Okay, to look, do this. I'm going to pull that shoulder joint out. All right. So on this shoulder unit, a few things we got to take care of. One, he's got a really ugly seam line. All right, you see this? You see this line? It goes right there. This ugly seam line goes all the way, right? And that's actually, that's a mold line, I should say. It's not a seam line. So it's a mold line because this is a one piece. These are one piece of mold. And this one is, and then this one, this red piece here is. And they came out of the runner in the center of the runner. And so there was mold plastic above and below the mold line. And so that's what creates the mold line. And so what we're going to do is we're going to clean that up so that these lines are non-existing. You don't want that line there. We want it to be nice and smooth, unless you're using it as a accent line or something. Okay, so the other thing I want to do is I do want to do some additional work. All of these cones need some love on the edges. Like that. Turn these headphones off. So we're gonna clean those up, clean all around these, right? That's easy. Make those look pretty cool. But what I'd like to do is these are nice and separate. So a couple things I'd like to do. First things first. You see how there's a natural break in this piece right here. See that? Right there. And then there's one right there. And then on the other side, there's two in the same exact spot. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do with that is I want to add some, make this look very intentional. And I'm going to add a seam line here. And a seam line here. And right now I'm just marking this. Okay, I'm not actually going to do it yet. Okay. And what that's going to do is help make my intention there. Is to help make that line look like it's actually part of the design of this shoulder piece. Okay. And then on the other side, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to do a seam line here and a seam line there. And then down here in these corners, I want to scribe a line to make that really nice and sharp. Okay. So again, this is all just ideas, right? So that's gonna take care of that. And then what I want to do, what do I want to do? Okay, so let's see, what do I want to do? I think I'm gonna have to think about that a little more. I've got some pictures I need to go look at, but I've seen some pretty cool scribing jobs where like they created panels, various panels within this piece, right? that wind up looking pretty darn cool. And then the idea there being it breaks it up, right? So it's not all one piece. Okay, that gives us a start for what that could look like. All right, so then we have, oh man, his shield here. Another thing that we're going to get some pictures, because I've saved several pictures of really cool scribing jobs on this shield. So this shield is lame. It's just flat, and I get it. There's a decal that you put on there and all that good stuff, but it's just boring. Super boring. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the boring out of it. Okay, first off, I don't like this recessed part right here. I don't like how that is. I actually want to build that up, and I want to flatten this out, put some extra plow plate, and I want it to step out for that section. Same thing with on the back. So that's one thing we're going to do. So we're going to fill that in and bring it out. These little dots here, you can see them, that one, and that one, right? Those got to go away, right? So we'll take care of those. We got a stress mark there we'll take care of. All right, down here at the bottom of this shield, we're going to fill this in as well. Okay, we'll put some plow plate on there. And then within this bottom portion of the shield, what we're going to do is we're going to do a few different pieces. So like this. Okay. And then probably some angled, mirrored on this side, angle, like that. And probably cross over like that, right? So just give it some extra detail because it's super boring at the moment. Okay, this piece will do the same. Okay, something like that. And then on the outside, I'm going to look at my pictures to find out exactly how I want to do this, but it's going to be something like, we're going to do something like across here. And we go across a little ways, up at an angle, over, down at an angle, and across. Okay, so that's one piece. We'll mirror that down here on the bottom. Okay, so it's going to be this terrible drawing, but something like that. And then we're going to do a few other things in there just to give it some extra detail. Probably put some recesses in the middle. I've got some pictures that I'm going to reference. I should have them out, but I don't. And quite frankly, at the moment, I'm just putting ideas down. Okay, so the idea is to bulk this thing up. These we could also bring further around the corner. Okay, and that will help just add some volume and some bulk to this. And then we'll repeat a similar scheme across the top here, right? Like that. The idea being, let's just give this thing some extra detail, some extra bulk, make it look cooler than how it looks today, which is frankly not very cool. So that's the shield. That's the ideas for the shield. I can't go too crazy here. I mean, I could, but I'm probably not going to because I do have to get this thing done. And I have to get it done. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay. All right, so I think here on his arms, most of this we're going to leave, but there's a really nasty seam line right here that we're going to take care of. Okay, let's take his arm off. So there's that. These guys, these little slots, we're going to do something up here. Just to give it more interest. This line can come across, go down, and go back up. And then across the back, it'll go across, it'll go down, and back up. Okay. And what we'll do is we'll align that with these angles. Does that make sense? So whatever angle that is, that's where how we'll make sure those other angles are similar, right? Down here on the bottom of the gauntlet, I'm going to put another line, a thick scribe line here, to break this into two. Okay, I want to break this gauntlet into two pieces, and then put a little knockout up top and a little knockout down the bottom. Okay, so we're going to do that. And then when we do that on one side, we got to do it on the other side as well. So we will. Because the arms do need to be symmetrical. Okay. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so let's do that. Let's take his other arm off. Ugh, there we go. Other arm. Okay, so similar here, right? We're gonna go move this along, have it come down, have it go over, go up, come back here, down, over, up, and across. Okay, so that's additional detail there, plus the wide cut here, and the top access piece, bottom piece, okay? And then, of course, taking care of all these nub marks and things. We will also deepen all of these all of these lines, because that will help when we come to painting to make it look crisp. That's arms. Okay. Chest. I feel like we need to break this into some pieces on his chest, and probably put some little bars over here, up here. We're gonna go like that, like that. Okay, we'll do that. We're also going to add little bars here. as well as panel lines. They're going to come under, go all the way across. Those look nice and clean. Okay. Then across the top, we'll take care of all these. Yeah, we'll accentuate this mold mark here. Clean this stuff up. Okay. Backpack, we don't need to worry so much about. We will a little bit. We'll do some kind of center scribe work there. Okay. I am going to do something on his skirts. I don't know exactly what, but I feel like there's a lot of great real estate here, so we should do something. And I'm going to consult my pictures for that. But I don't want to go too crazy. Maybe it's just a line. Maybe it's just a line that then around the skirt is going to match up. It'll actually work well with the color scheme of the atlas. Yeah, that's what I think we'll do for the skirt there. We'll do this line. It'll be a thick line, but the key is it will make it continuous across all these pieces. That'll look nice. We'll do the detail there. Okay, and then legs are the prime real estate opportunity here, because there's so much we can do down here on these parts that we're going to do. We're going to bring in some extra stuff here, extra little marks. Same thing obviously here, because you want to make them symmetrical. But yeah, these legs can really have room to do some stuff. Okay, so then here's the crux of things here. Okay, let's put his arm back on. So when it comes down to it, right, with all this customization, that's all great and dandy. But let's talk about what this is going to look like when this guy is positioned and everything's set up. Okay, because the key here is there's been an accident, right? An unfortunate accident that causes this guy to have a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. And so in the storyline, I'm going to pull these pieces off. Pull that piece off there. Okay, so we'll pull those pieces off. Okay, so here's the deal. The other big thing I'm going to do is there's going to be people working on one of these legs. Okay, his skirt just always falls off here. Oh my goodness, there we go. Okay, the key to this storyline is that he's in the bay. He's in an Earth bay, right? That's the key. He's in the bay on Earth at the Xeon facility, getting painted up like Atlas. And the foot, or the leg, one leg, is getting work done. It's in the process of being painted, right? So those, and then it's getting like maintenance done on it. And so the idea that I had is that this guy is his legs there been disconnected from his body. All right, so we've got this leg segment we're gonna have to make it look like it got disconnected. So what I want to do is I want to do some like hoses and other various things coming out of the leg, as if they had to disconnect his hydraulic system or something, right? And so that's one extra detail that I want to add. And the key is that this leg will stay standing, right? So the leg will stand, but in this accident, what has happened is a mechanic or somebody has gotten in the suit to shift it, and it has fallen because it doesn't have a leg. Like, its leg is detached, and it has gravity to deal with, right? And so somehow, right, we're in our diorama here, we're gonna have bro going down onto the ground, right? So he's gonna fall. Like, he just took a step with the leg that's not attached, right? And he's gonna fall. Let me put right like this. Boom. But his leg is still gonna be standing behind him, attached to the diorama as it's there being repaired, right? So I don't know exactly the layout here, except what I do want is, like you can see here, his arm, that's how he's going to land, right? He's going to land on his arm. He's probably going to be looking to the side or something, right? But when he lands on that arm, he's going to land on his fuel cells. And so this is where it starts to get complicated, right? Because he's going to have a fuel cell in front of him. And I got to pull that whole thing apart. We'll figure that out later. But he's going to land on a fuel cell. And that's going to be bad, right? That's part of his terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, right? He's fallen over. He's landed on his fuel cells. His fuel cells will be right here and bent because he smashed it when he lands on it. So that's part of the story, right? He's like that. I think that is the correct arm to use. The left arm. I feel like that would be a great one to use. And he could be reaching out with this other arm to help stop him as well. But then we have this leg that needs some repairs done on it. Okay? So here's what the fun thing about this is, that I want to make it like the repairs are being done, right? So I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. But what I'm thinking I'm gonna do, something along the lines of like, it could be this shroud right here lifts up and you can see all the detail underneath it. We would add some additional detail, but the idea being that this would lift up, or maybe flip out, I don't know, some way. And then this piece here, I'm actually thinking about cutting this out, this piece, and having it hinge open, and then putting some things behind there so that you can see like the works inside of his leg. And maybe there's another hatch or something over here So we would design that into the panel lines on the other leg as well. Or maybe it's this one that's open. But somehow, some of these panels are going to be open, and then the idea is to potentially even get some little 1/100th scale guys that will be on some scaffolding, like they're working on it. And we can strip down some of the armor on this particular leg, and we can make it so we'll paint the rest of his body like Atlas, and then the panels on this leg will be in the process of being painted, as well as some of these other panels. So in the diorama, we'll have these other panels and things set up, and we'll have some little guys painting those as well, because that's part of what they're working on, right? They're trying to get this guy ready to go so that he can go attack the Earth Federation force, right? So that's what the plan is. I don't know if it's a good plan. I like the plan. I think it's a fun plan. Just saying. I don't know. Maybe we strip all of his armor off this leg, or most of it, right? You know what I mean? Let's pull some of this off. Let's see what we got, because it's been a few days since I put it all together, right? Because I feel like there's some detail here. So we could have some of these armor pieces, right? Separate. Oh yeah, we could do that. That would be fun. So we can have some of these armor pieces like over here on a cart, you know, over off to the side in the process of being painted. We'll have Lord help me, I don't remember how all this went together. Look at the instructions, you would say. Well, I suppose I could do that. I suppose. But come on now. You expect me to refer to the instructions? Come on now. Come on now. Okay, so that piece could actually be chopped up into little pieces, right? Oh yeah, here we go. Because if we have this exposed, we get all the hydraulic thing going on there, right? That's fun. So we would want to have this piece off to the side being painted. Let's see, what else can we do? What else can we pull off? Maybe this side piece. Nope. Don't do that. Don't do that. This piece. This piece. Okay, because that comes off there. This piece goes there. We can attach that back. Oh yeah, this could be fun. Okay, there's those pieces. And then what about, so this part, right, just plugs right in like that, and then comes out of there like that. And then we can pull this whole side pod off. Ugh. Without damaging anything would be preferable. But then again, if we damage something, then we damage something. Life goes on. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it's gonna come out. There we go. There we go. Because we could also then, we could fit this back. That goes there. These go in here. Okay. Like that. All right, so I like what I'm figuring out here. Okay, let's try the, what if we pull these pieces off? Maybe we need those, I don't know. What's this front look like underneath? Okay. Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. Okay, he's in the process of being painted, right? We got all his parts that are going to be painted. And then this front piece, we can have this thing flipped up and they can be working on some stuff there. Anything that's already on him, we'll consider already painted. So the so we have the frame parts, and then we got the hydraulic pistons and things. But then what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to add a whole bunch of additional detail. So on like this upper thigh, these side pieces here, we're going to add a bunch of, over here we'll add a bunch of different detail. And what that's going to do is that's just going to like be like, hey, here's all the cool mechanical stuff that's going on under the hood, you know? So then that sits along the back of I don't know. I don't know that I like that front piece even being on there. Right, maybe that comes off too. We just have all these pieces lined up. They're all getting painted. Have this piece is up against the wall. Bro falls down on top of like this, probably on top of the fuel cells and smashes them. I like that. I think that's going to be fun. And you know, there's some things I've been wanting to do for a long time. Like, I'm a guitar player, and do I have? Oh, sad day. I'll have to change my guitar strings. I used to have a coil of old guitar strings. They've probably been thrown away. But I got guitar strings, which are really pretty cool because they're textured, right? So there's texture there, which would add a really cool detail. And then we've got, you know, little plastic pieces, and so we can really like use this piece as a way of showing a lot of fine detail work. I think that would be a lot of fun. And then you got your hydraulic pistons. You've got rocket thrusters. You've got pipes. You've got, you know, all sorts of stuff that we can do that you normally wouldn't be able to do under there. But we're going to do it. It's going to be awesome. All right, so there's some of the idea. Okay, so I'm getting some, my brain, I've got some ideas here for how the different customizations are going to work. I hope I have enough time to do all this. And then, or does he turn his head down? Hang his head. Turn it this way. Oh no. All right. More ideas. Yep. Got to come up with some more ideas. More ideas. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to call it a day because I need to go put my son to bed. Call it a day. And I'll be thinking about this and our plan. Okay. Because, guys, I think we have a good plan. I think we have a good plan. Yes, we have a great plan, not just a good plan. It's a great plan. And I'm excited to see it all come together. All right. So, I'll have you join me for the ride. I hope you enjoy. And, yeah. Find joy in whatever you're doing. Building things, having fun, doing sports, whatever it is for you. And hope you have a blessed day. We'll see you next time.